I actually tell people I'm acquaintances with, moms of my daughter's friends or people I constantly come across. They'll ask me about the real estate market. And of course, I'm like, well, you know what? Thankfully, I'm doing really well, but they actually know. And I tell them I cold call. Surprising the positive reaction I've gotten from people knowing that I cold call. Cause then they're like, oh, wow, Adela doesn't wait for business. She actually works. Like for some reason in their mind, that's like Adela works. Adela's a hard worker. Adela's in the game. Adela knows what's going on in the market. Like people will ask me about the market. I'm like, what do you want to know? Like, do you want to know where the investors are? Do you want to know about certain condos and which condo buildings have reserves? Because Lord knows I've probably spoken to all the condo building owners at this point. I know where they're tearing down homes and developers are going in. I know where there's a group of downsizers that they're going to stay put. They're not planning on selling because they're going to pass on their homes to their family, like that little neighborhood? Or do you want to know about that? Like, because I sit here and I spend so much time talking to neighborhoods, people who live in certain neighborhoods, I know what's going on in each of the neighborhoods. And so they are like, wow, Adela actually knows. Because it is, and I always tell people real estate is so hyper local because I can tell you the condo buildings between two streets and how saturated that market is. And then I can tell you between two different streets, and that's actually a very competitive market. And that actually has helped me become very knowledgeable and be the local professional. Yes. I mean, listen, if you really, just work, grind, hustle, put in the time, Lord knows it pays off. I've seen it. People have seen me do it who know me. And I just, like, if you work, just work. Cause I think Matt, you've said it before. It's like, if you're not working, what else are you doing? Like, I don't know. What are you going to do? Go swimming, go shopping, go like have long lunches or something. I don't know. It's great. The person you're trying to reach is not available. I will say, I'm very surprised at how many vacations realtors take, especially those who are like, real estate's so slow, the market's so terrible, this, that, whatever. I'm going to go to cruise. What are you talking about? Or like, I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to go to cruise in Europe. I'm going to go to wherever, New York. I'm like, how are you affording this? Lord knows I got to make money. And then, of course, they leave the real estate industry. I'm like, well, you weren't even really working.
Hey realtor, quick pause before we get back to the video. If you're watching this channel, it's probably because you're looking for more consistent ways to generate listing opportunities and for years to come. As an active full-time realtor, I only circle prospect when I'm doing my cold calling sessions. And the script that I'm going to share with you, you can't find it online. These are the actual conversations I continue to have with homeowners, and it has helped me generate hundreds of seller leads over the last few years. So if you're serious about building a steady pipeline of listing opportunities for years to come, I'd recommend downloading my free circle prospecting script. It's the exact same framework and everything I say every time I'm making my calls. So I'm going to make it available for you in the description. There'll be a link. Go ahead and click on it, download it, print it, practice it, make it your own. Let's get back to the video.
My broker acted shocked when she saw I was doing 3 opens on Saturday. I asked her, what else am I going to do? Isn't that so funny? It's like, yeah, it's so weird. I need clients and closings and I won't find them at home on the couch. 100%. It's that one thing people always talk about. Just because you get your real estate license, you think deals are just going to fall in your lap. And you would be surprised the feedback I get from homeowners when they're like, I want to work with a full-time realtor who is in it, who knows everything that's going on. For example, there's a few buyers who have asked about the new construction. I believe it was 20 new high rises in downtown Fort Lauderdale by 2030. And I actually did my homework and I pulled the map of the locations. So when people ask me about it, I'm like, oh, I can send you the map. I know exactly where they're going to go up. So that way you can make a decision where you want to buy if you don't want to be right next to the new construction. But yeah, I don't know why brokers. Well, oh, you know what?
Been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 3.
I will say this, Matt. This is something people have told me before, and then I started realizing how true it was. There are a lot. I'm not saying everyone.
Has been forwarded.
I'm not saying everyone, but of course, including myself. When you have a broker, especially a broker that isn't doing transactions, a lot of the time they just couldn't cut it as a real estate agent. And so they just decide to sit in the back seat and hope that the other agents make them money. But really, it just becomes like a whole nightmare for them because they end up babysitting a lot of agents who are not producing. But it's so tricky because everyone is an independent contractor that they're not allowed to like boss them around, only like try and like motivate them. But some brokers are just like used to agents who don't necessarily produce a whole lot. Who was it? Was a transaction coordinator or someone who was an admin for a team that came on. I forget exactly who that was. And they said what I think you were on, Matt. It was like 24 agents and only the top 8 produce. The other middle 8 did like 1 to 2 deals a year. And then the bottom 8 did like 1 or 0 a year, which is unfortunate. So it's very hard to find agents that work their ass off. Yeah, and some brokers do. So like mine, actually
Please leave a message after the tone.
The last 2 brokers I had didn't do transactions. The first one did. The second 2 did not. My broker does transactions, but she at least admits a lot of them are from referrals and past clients. She's supportive and told me to keep grinding and hustling. Yeah, put the time in. And I'm sure she did too. I think somebody I've heard before where people say, put in the time, build your client base, I guess, and then after 5 years, you just getting referrals and then past clients. I don't know, but in my opinion, it's like, why not just keep working? Like, okay, maybe not to the extreme as you did when you first started, but I don't see why cold calling should die out, especially if you can still drum up more business. Because then it's like, cool, you get new business on top of your referral and your past clients. Then at that point, which I have seen, I know there's like this one agent. No, she doesn't cold call anymore. Who's a good example? They're the luxury top agents here who claim that they don't cold call. I know they still cold call because sellers have told me, oh yeah, so and so cold called me, so and so cold called me. I'm like, oh, they still cold call. So it's just a big secret. I get it. I'll just keep going. The owner of the brokerage told me she got started by, wait for it, cold calling. Yay, somebody who admitted it. I actually had one guy admit it to me because I told him it was just him and I at his broker's open house.
Voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
And I was like, wow, this is such an amazing listing. And he's like, yeah. And we're talking business. And I was like, cool. Like, how did you get this one? He's like, oh, I just walked my dog, and became friendly with the neighbor. And the neighbor knew I was a realtor. I'm like, cool. I'm like, I'm actually starting off. And at the time, I think I was just starting to cold call. And then he kind of whispered, even though nobody was in the house anymore. And he's like, that's how I started. I'm like, you did? He goes, yeah. He goes, for like 2.5 to 3 years. He goes, I just went after FSBOs expired. And then I started circle prospecting. He goes, and then, and mind you, he's been in the business like 15 years now. He goes, and then after that, I didn't have to pick up the phone ever again. And I was like, but why don't you just want to cold call? He's like, no, I'm fine. He does his like 150 to 2.
Please leave your message for.
He does his like 150 to 200,000 a year. And he's like, I'm fine making that money. I'm just going to cruise and coast. He goes, unless I really have to make money, at least I know what to do. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
But the person you called.
But it was so cute because he was like, don't stop, do it. He goes, do it for, he was the one actually. He's like, do it for 5 years. and then see where you're at, and then see, like, just try and pivot and just work off of your referrals and past clients. And I was like, oh, okay.
The person you have dialed
Oh, I'm getting,
can't take your call.
So that was nice for him to actually say that. Why is it people won't say they cold call? I wish I knew. I honestly wish I knew, because so many times if you ask them, they're like, do mailers, do open houses.
Please leave your message for.
I have a theory. I actually have a theory. When you ask a seasoned agent who's successful and you ask them how to get listings, they automatically say answers aside from open houses. They say answers that have to do with spending money. And I don't know if they just do that so new agents burn through money and realize that they can't actually afford to be spending so much money to stay afloat or to like thrive in the business, that they maybe just want them out. Honestly, it's just an idea. Otherwise I have no idea why people don't say they cold call, because I know some of those seasoned agents still cold call. In fact, there was another agent, I was circle prospecting, and
Please leave your message for.
I did not know one gentleman was expired, because, you circle prospect, you find FSBOs, you find expireds, you find absentee owners, you find FRBOs, everything. And I didn't know he was an expired. And he's like, oh my God, I get calls all the time. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, you do. And then he name dropped. He goes, yeah, this one realtor, Gino, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I've heard of him. I kind of know him. Not really. I've seen him in passing. I'm like, oh yeah, him. He goes, yeah, he calls me all the time. He cold called me
9-5.
and he still follows up with me. And I was like, oh, interesting. So he cold calls too. In fact, him and I had an acquaintance one time, and her and I temporarily cold called together. And so it was her, me, and him at one of his open houses. And she had mentioned, yeah, Adela and I cold call. And it was, I could tell he found it threatening, because he's like, oh, you do you? I was like, yeah, have you ever tried it? And he's like, no, he did. I'm like, dude, seller just outed you and you're telling me you don't cold call? I don't know. I think it's a secret. I think I was talking, yeah, I just think maybe it's a secret. Maybe they just don't want
Now, the person you're trying to reach.
maybe they just don't want other realtors to succeed. Maybe they just feel like competition, right? Because if you are calling FSBOs and expireds, there's less of them, so they feel like it's competition. I don't know. Maybe you guys can chime in. Why do you guys think they won't say they cold call? Because I really wish they knew. I really wish I knew. Like, why do you guys not just admit it? Matt, honestly, I don't think the majority of new agents are willing to put in the work. So I'm not sure I'd waste my breath answering all the questions about cold calling. That's a good point. That's actually a good point. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, because they totally would. They'd be like, how? What do I do? What do I say? Me and my annoying voice. What do I do? I don't get it. What if they yell at me? Sonia said 14 contacts, one buyer lead. Very nice. Love it. 14 contacts and one buyer lead. Very good. Wait. Woo! Not yet. Okay, cool. I'm 18 minutes in, no contacts other than take me off your list and calling the business. Oh no, take me off your list. Goodbye. Be like, whatever. I don't care. Yay. Yeah, Sonia. Woohoo. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Everyone at my brokerage knows I call. I've answered a ton of questions about it, and I don't think anyone acted on it. Yeah, and most won't. Yeah, I could probably even see your point. You're probably like already tired of answering their questions. They're like, no, I'm good, Matt. You could be the person calling. My office knew I was calling, and then I think I was just way too distracting because I was actually doing it there. And I wasn't getting peace from it. And so then I just came home and started calling, and then it was just super quiet. I would probably ask, since you said your pickup rate was trash, are your mornings generally trash? Because then you could always pivot and decide, you know what, I have a better pickup rate in the afternoon or like after 1 maybe. Then that way you can switch up your schedule accordingly. Because I mean, for myself, I would say usually between 4 and 6, I have better pickups, but I still also have good pickups between 2 to 4. But obviously, right now, I have a low pickup. So I guess mine is trash right now, too. She had another condo for sale. I'm like, how do you not have a realtor? Can you imagine the realtor thing? Like, dude, you have a realtor selling one of your other properties and you're telling me you don't have a realtor? Like you obviously don't even like that realtor. I would not want to even work with somebody like that. So even if she became a lead, I'd be like, hell to the nuts, no, you're so disrespectful. No, I would like to work with people who respect realtors. Just saying. Yeah, I'm starting to think afternoons are way better here than mornings. I should probably track and monitor that. But back to what else am I gonna do? I would challenge you to do a little posting on social media. But let's think this through, because sometimes you want to try and do creative stuff on one day because of the way that your brain works from left side and the right side of your brain. But if you wanted to, my creative moments are always in the morning. So if you wanted to, you can try and experiment. And if you wanted to just post some things, like you're already doing those videos, so maybe like one day in the morning, like post it to your different channels and just take like 30 minutes to an hour, just maybe even an hour. I would say maybe like because I've done this where I'll take one picture of a listing or a video of a listing, and then I just make sure to put it on all the different platforms. It's part of like my marketing list template that I have, where I just check everything off, and all the social media platforms that I have. Is this still going? Yeah. Because people are going to start Googling you, especially once you start. I mean, you actually already have listings, so you already have the material, you already have the pictures, because all of that is like branding. Like you're branding yourself as the realtor in the area, because you can do all your cold calling. You could even do it for 2-3 years, but if people can't see it, it's almost like you start from the bottom and you're having to tell people what you do instead of showing. It's always show versus tell. So if people can Google you or look you up or see that you are working, they will have a higher likelihood of hiring you compared to an agent who does not have online. So for example, for myself, Matt, I do YouTube and social media. I'm posting everything that I'm doing, although I'm already behind, because thankfully I'm busy. But it's also cold calling and then following up. So I guess maybe, maybe switch your follow-up time. So I actually follow up more in the morning, and then I do lives later. And so sometimes when you see me going live early in the day, I will try and carve out an hour or 30 minutes, whatever I need later in the day, to do a little bit of follow-up, whether it's email or texting or returning phone calls, just servicing. And even though right now it's what else am I going to do? When you start building and you get busy and you have more listings, it'll be hard to find time to do what you need to do. Hope that helped. Gabriel, no lead so far. I'll post my results either here or on Facebook. Yeah, you actually on Facebook. Gabriel, thank you so much. You've been posting on the Facebook group and it really helps. So if you guys ever want to post, you know, let's say I'm doing my live later in the day, but you happen to do it in the morning, you can always feel free to post on Facebook, like your morning session of what you did. That will be very helpful, motivating for everybody else, I'm sure. Usually 2 p.m. is good for me, but today it's like crickets. Same. It's so interesting when all of us are kind of experiencing similar patterns in our calling sessions, especially when Mojo's acting out. It can be really rough. I mean, they're obviously going to voicemail, so it is ringing, but people are not picking up. Is something going on in the news today? I mean, I know there's a hockey game tonight, but that's like the only thing I can think about. But that wouldn't explain the morning. Can you imagine all these condo people that I'm talking to that don't want to list their condos on the market, which is totally fine. Thankfully, I'm doing well with condos. I basically got closed 2, got another under contract. Another one is a house that's pending. And I'm actually working on another deal on another condo. But I would definitely say it all depends on the condo building. So I focus and I talk to people who have good financials reserves, have their structural integrity reserve study, their milestones. Like if they have assessment, I talk to them about assessment, figure out if there's any other upcoming assessments. But all these people who are like want to sell in 2-3 years, once the condo market turns around, I'm going to have all these homeowners that are like, I'm ready. And they're all getting really good values. I have a feeling the condo market pricing will go up in the future. We're just in the lower point of the market right now. VM all day long. Yeah, I get that. So I was doing single line. Yeah, I mean, you've probably seen me like, I'll do single line like for a whole week. I've done it like 2 weeks straight single line. So single line is totally fine. And so I'm on double line. I'm at 11 conversations in an hour 40. And at the same time, you don't have to have a lot of conversations. It's just if you have the triple line, once your phone number is like established and it has your reputation and you've been using it for a while, I would say then it's safe to upgrade to triple if you want to. But I like having the triple line now because I can toggle. Like I like going up and down. Even in some days I'll do in one sitting, in a 2-hour sitting, I'll do single and then double and then triple and then back down to double and single. So that way, like I'm just kind of pivoting and just figuring out how Mojo's working that day. I will also say if I do go on vacation, notice how I say if I go on vacation because I don't really go on vacation. But if I were to go on vacation, I know I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. Sometimes for that month, I'll just downgrade and I'll just pay for the single line for that month. And then when I get back, then I'll upgrade to the triple line. Or let's say December, like my kids are off for the last 2 weeks of December. I'm not going to be calling as much. Then for the month of December, I'll also like downgrade for that month to just single line. And I'll just like write it out. I'm like, it's fine. It is what it is. I'll do whatever I can do as long as I just sit here and make my calls. If I have one more, that'll be 12, and at least it's 6 an hour. And there'll be one lead out of 12 for the day. Oh, that was a grit and wit. That was a grit and wit. That was so funny. And I could tell, and he was like, no. And I just purposely kept talking over him. I was like, oh, but shockingly, he did not, this was a total wrong number. He didn't even want to admit it. I was like totally calling him out on everything I was saying. He just wanted to be right, which is what they do. And it was not an area code from New York, which is kind of strange, but that was a grit and wit. But it's okay. We move on. Nutty. He was so nutty. Do you not count hangups? I do not. I mean, as long as I know that it's them. If they're like, no, like if I say Robert and they're like, yeah, I'm like, hey, it's Adela. I'm a realtor. It's okay if you want to hang up. And they go, oh, no. And then
Mailbox that has not been set up.
and then like hang up and I know it was them, then I'll count it. But if it's a wrong number, like this guy, I wouldn't count it. And unfortunately, I think I just accidentally did, unless that was this one lady that hung up. But no, I don't like to count those. So if it's a wrong number, wrong person, if it's like a family member, no. If I know for sure it was them, yes, I do count it because I at least asked them and they knew I was a realtor, because at the end of the day, if they don't want to talk to your realtor, they don't want to talk to your realtor. What was the other thing?
Forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, click next. Exactly. Next. Oh, I should have that on my stream deck. Oh, one should be next. I'm gonna come up with that. I have to find it. He says, listen carefully. Yes. I was like, this guy has an ego problem. Yeah, and it was so funny at the end. I just said, what did I say? Like, okay, have a great day. Like, whatever. I just hung up on him because they love hanging up on you. You can do that Ariana Grande song that says next. Oh my God. I did not think I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna see if I can find it because I don't know how to, like, I'm still struggling to find sound effects. I can find that next. What did she say? Thank you next or something? Is that her song? I don't know. Next. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna see if I can find it, Sergio. Thanks. People are funny. When you cold call, actually in general, when you deal with the public, you come across so many personalities. When I used to work at the cruise line, I used to have between 16 to 20 conversations in an 8-hour sitting. And that might not seem like much, but I was basically having long conversations. Those were like anywhere from 20 to
voicemail. The person
20 to 45 minutes. And it was nonstop. I did not have time to breathe in between calls or take breaks. It was like back to back. Let's see. I'm sorry to interrupt your day. Calms people down so quickly. Yeah. And you know what he said? He goes, what, wait a minute. You're not interrupting my day. He goes, it's happy hour. I was like, oh God, that's so lame. I was like, seriously, dude, you're going to come back with that? Oh, all right. I'm going to pause there. I was just thinking, so I don't know about you guys, and I'll just do this for fun because I do it for fun. Like my husband knows because I did cruises for 4 years. And I would definitely, it was very much acting, like when you're doing those types of sales over the phone. And it was back to back to back, 4 contacts in 45 minutes. That's almost like mine today, Nancy. Because I think I had 5 in an hour. And then I started kind of climbing up. So you guys might just laugh at me, but I'm just going to do this for fun. So I worked at, sorry, hold on. Okay. Now I feel nervous. Okay. So when I used to sell cruises, it was a beep in our ear and we were like strapped into the headset and we couldn't leave. So once the call came in, we had to like just keep going, like call after call. So it would literally be like, boop. And I go, hi, thank you for calling Viking Cruises. My name's Adela. What exciting river cruise can I plan for you today? And so then I would like go into, and they go, oh, well, my name's Bob. I'm like, hi, Bob. How are you today? And they're like, oh, I'm great. I'm like, wonderful. Is there anybody else that's going to be joining you on this cruise that you would like to join our conversation? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, my wife, Mary. I'm like, great. Is Mary there? And it was such a tonality thing. And then once it would be over, I'd be like, well, congratulations on booking your cruise. If you have any questions, my name's Adela, and I give them my information. And they would hang up and literally boop, and I'd have to start all over again. Thank you for calling Viking River Cruises. My name's Adela. What exciting river cruise can I book for you today? And it was just on and on and on, and like a machine. And it was like 4 years of that. And obviously it paid well, not as well as real estate. I will say that now. But it was like back to back. And so me doing these little calls, and these calls last for so little, like my longest is 30, but usually they're like 5 to 10 minutes, if that, when I get a lead. It's like so much better. Hence why I do not want to be strapped to a headset. I use this or speaker, because that brings me so much trauma where I'm literally tied. I was tied. It was like a headset and you were like tied to the phone, to the receiver. And it was just like Wolf of Wall Street, like back to back. And we're all just like getting credit cards and booking cruises as fast as we can to hit our monthly quota. And then at the beginning of the month, we started all the way down to zero, which was very demoralizing. So I'm glad to be doing real estate. Sorry to maybe have bored you with that, but I just wanted to share. It was like crazy. It was so crazy. And then it would be like seen when we'd get a credit card. We'd like, next. That was it. We always said next. We'd get a credit card, conversation over, beep, next. We were just like, next, next, next. We were just like robots there. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I'm going to go have dinner now. Got to make dinner. And I will see you guys tomorrow.